Vega. I like the puck pick here. It gives them a lot of disable versus Storm. Now they have Blink Silence with the coil, and then on top of that, the Winter's Curse, the uppercut from Tusk. It's not going to be a great Storm game if they're able to get any sort of a decent start. And that's where I feel like for PR, that this is a lineup that needs to play from ahead. If fall behind, they are going to get torn apart by Vega. Looking for the 2-0 sweep, and well, we'll just have to see if they can get it done. Well, Vega now going to open this one up with a pause, of course. Unfortunately for the Vega fans, not playing with their full roster. They have at least 1, possibly 3 stand-ins. Not actually sure how many are, but we know Sunico is for sure. So it's not making this match easy for them.
All right, so now that it seems that somewhat Steam is working, because last time I was trying to check the aliases of some of these players, no one is Hart, or Hart is no one. So he is the legitimate roster fill in there for Vega, and as I look over Tulemim, see here that he is also known as Ninepash. So it is them. So it's Ninepash is actually Tulemim. And
okay.
Hart
So only
is
one stand
actually no one.
not 3.
Yeah, Seema the Slayer is currently not present, and he is their captain typically, so that is a bit of awkward situation when you're, or I don't even know if he's a shot caller in a game, but he's typically their captain and drafter. But then again, who really knows what happens behind closed doors and how much they actually work with each other on the draft, but still could have been a crucial part of their team. It's the 4, and a lot of people say that replacing your support is one of the more trickier things as opposed to like a core or an off.
It definitely felt like they were missing that clear team decision-making at times. I mean, there were some pretty big individual mistakes by Vega. The anti-mage getting caught out repeatedly in the case of Tule Memes. Not sure how much you can really say, like, oh, the captain would have changed that, but maybe he reels him in a little bit and says, okay, don't push now, like, you know, play it safe. The Omni Knight charged in a few times, got caught out of position in game 1 for Vega. It's always hard to gauge, right? Unless you're actually in the room, you hear the team's communication day to day, and then you see the difference when the captain's missing. But you can only speculate and assume that it does make a bit of a difference for Vega. So we'll see if they can pull it together here for game 2. But should they lose this one, they're not eliminated. Our format is GSL groups, which basically means a double elimination bracket. Winner bracket champions move on as the 1 seed. The loser bracket champions move on as the 2 seed. So you've got a little cushion here, even if you go on to lose in your Vega, have a shot at redemption down in the lower bracket.
Yeah, Esportal. It's a long time in the making, it feels. But I feel like we started this tournament back in 2002, almost. But we're finally getting there to the back end of it. We're in the final stretch, and we get to see which team is really going to be thriving on top. Maybe many of the rosters have changed up since then, but there's still a lot of money on the line, so these teams definitely put a lot of emphasis into it. Speaking of putting a lot of emphasis into something here, Cheshire Cat with an early TP to the bottom lane. Looks like it's going to be an off-lane Pugna. Not always the best. This guy, you know, if he's zoned back, doesn't really have a lot of meat on the bones to accept punishment, so he's got to get there quick and early so he can at least help himself to blocking out that pull gamp. Any sort of bits of XP that can come his way would definitely be very thankful for, so he's just trying to hope that he can at least kind of hang out close enough so he can start to build up a good level rush. But if he gets, you know, in a predicament where he has to kind of go out past his tower, he risks getting caught out and taken down very easily.
Yeah, and this is an interesting observer ward because I believe it's actually one of the few spots that you can miss with both standard sentry placements. You've got the 1 sentry placement north of the camp, the one that generally goes south of it, and if you place those 2, I don't think either one actually sees this. And well, Solo has just made his life that much more difficult, already dropping out a sentry off at another location, as you've been pointing out on the map, where he's going to have to get lucky at this point. There's just no way to really know where this ward is. They didn't see him come in. It's the beauty of that early TP, and should Solo fail to find it, I don't think they have anybody with extra gold in the bank. Mag's gone for that early Mango. He's actually going to be in a core role this game on the Tusk, playing the off lane, similar to what we've seen out of Zai. And Sunico went boots, so they've got nobody to buy extra sentries if this fails, and they're level dependent, Dakota. This could really make a huge difference for PR to get game 2 kicked off.
Just block from far away here. You already see that Solo's waiting for that range creep to keep it back, just in case. But that range creep's not even leading out the front here. A good block should prove that Pugna's going to be able to get a good start as far as B goes here, but I also want to make sure we keep tabs on this top lane. Mag is going to get zoned back pretty hard. Went with the first level into ice shards here. You can't really just snowball away from trouble when you're soloing in your lane, so both sides, it's going to be a bit tricky for these offlaners to get a lot, but for now, it's looking to be a bit better here for Cheshire Cat because it's not that hard to actually surprisingly last hit with Pugna. I've been able to do myself, and if I can do it, then I'm sure these guys can.
Yeah, he's got pretty good base damage, fairly decent attack animation, and he's up against a melee hero in the PL. They are running the tri-lane. We're going to see Solo actually does connect on the D ward, though. He goes for...
Dirty Raw mid lane, though. He's the one in trouble. They make a committed jump and jive, and they get the kill. This is the Soniko special when he plays the Witcher Wyvern. He's like a vulture instead of a dragon, hanging around this mid lane, waiting to be able to just prey on something, and this time it's just Ditya. And, well, we saw it a lot at TI5 quals in the hands of the Navi squad, and we'll continue to see it here.
Yeah, big pick off there. He's also preying on my rusty camera work, as I'll miss that one, but did catch the D ward at least. So the combination of the D ward as well as the gank, putting them in good position. I don't think this one blocks the camp. I guess we'll get confirmation in about 5 seconds, but assuming it doesn't, they'll get that much needed additional experience for the team. Soniko gonna secure the ruin, and yeah, in fact, it does not. So they'll be able to finally start their pulling here. But already Cheshire Cat, the ward's paid for itself. He's level 3, and the off lane is a Pugna against a tri-lane. He's harassed the ever-living crap out of this PL. You can't ask for anything more out of an off-lane Pugna.
This is wonderful start.
That, man. 10 CS probably if he gets this one.
And he could also even go for an early value point into the Nether Ward. You just casually throw it down, and PL, who's forced to kind of stay close so he gets some CS, will continue to drain. Lots and lots of mana. He can always decrep the ward if he tries to harass it down himself or with some illusions. And I'm curious to see how manly he wants to play this kind of pull action, though. He's still very fragile. Chilling Touch could do a lot of damage to this Pugna if not careful. And he does have the Decrepify to fall back on for now, but as you can see, he utilizes more of the Blast to see if he could snipe any sort of creeps from this.
Level 4 with boots. Still has the salve even. They've hardly been able to scratch him. This Bone Man has been doing heavy lifting here. Meanwhile, Soniko does make a bit of an aggressive maneuver into the dire jungle. He flew over the trees. I don't think he placed... Did he place a ward here and get dewarded, or did he just bait out a sentry and make them think that he had placed one? I didn't actually catch it.
I came a little bit late to it. Admiring that Soniko knows how to really utilize Arctic Burn better than any other Wyvern player. Know exactly when he can utilize it to get away from trouble, ascend and descend these cliff tops, and avoid any sort of additional trouble. Not going to be easy later on when Disruptor gets that glimpse leveled up, but for now he knows exactly what he can and cannot get away with.
He's already looking to go bottom. He's just roamed all across the map, and he wants to come up from the Roshan pit and make a play here, it looks like, but may wait for this 4-minute rune first and then decide what to do.
See rotations coming up from some of the supports as the 4-minute rune does spawn. Fritz is gonna see the illusion here top. Will nurse it for Ditya. Heads that way, and they ping out Mag. Mag, obviously aware that a lot are missing.
They can turn this, I think, with the blast out. Just misses Solo. It's able to back off. Does force out the south here and a TP. But at the same time, they're pushing the lane in, and this is going to be a ton of experience. Again, going the other way, Dakota. They may not let Solo out. If he's not careful, could get caught out here by Gorietz. No points in the poison touch yet. We'll end up going down. Meanwhile, mid lane, Ra coiled and dealt with by our heart. The Pugna able to find a solo kill when he hits level 6. Not normally a matchup where you see solo kills. Bristleback is very durable and difficult to bring down, but I guess he got a little greedy, stuck around too long, and they find the second kill of the game. 2-0 now the score.
Goes down twice, and no one, or Hart and Puck in this game, is going to be almost 2 levels ahead, it looks like, about to get to his level 7, so this Puck is really blasting off at this point. AA goes down, but it's more of a self-deny after he ate all that harassment earlier to get himself back into base and buying out. Looks like he picked up some boots, but nonetheless, it's a very strong laning start here for Vega, especially in this mid lane. For bottom PL, I mean, he's going against this Pugna, who is getting a bit, but the PL is right up there, 30 and 9 CS. The one thing that it looks like PR do have going for him is the top lane where Sunlight and the Storm Spirit is at the top of CS. 33 and 19 denies, already leading in with what looks like the early inkling of an Orchid build. The Storm Spirit is able to kind of, snowball into this mid game. Could be very, very beneficial for them and the rest of their team to kind of pull it out and inch on further, because Vega are the team that seem to be more aggressive on paper. Tusk, the way Sonico plays Wyvern, and now you have a coil ready to go from Puck. Could get a bit scary here for PR if they don't have the levels to match.
We're going to see some ancient stacking going now as Cheshire Cat makes a personal smoke on the Pugna. And now tries to move down into the river. He's going to scout out Sonico, breaks the smoke. Not much of a personal smoke. This guy just likes his nicotine, I guess. Gory's going to get silenced out here. In the meanwhile, the orb comes through, finds the solo kill. Again, Hart delivering. And now able to easily just orb away to safety. That's a Puck who's got 3 kills to his name. Absolutely out of control. And we're only 6 minutes in.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Mention in this bottom lane as well, committing 3 here. Cheshire Cat comes forward, but eats a quick lance and doesn't really want to try to test his luck any further. Drops down the ward, but it gets quickly taken apart. That's the nice thing for Vega, is they have a good lineup to deal with that ward. They have a long range from Winter Wyvern. They have help with AA and the Chilling Touch, of course. So if they're able to scout out that nether ward, they'll deal with it pretty damn fast. So for now, Pugna kind of dealing with the best. He's got to his level 6. He's got Life Drain ready to go. We'll have to see. Top lane Mag kind of contesting this pull camp. He's about to be level 6, so his Walrus Punch will be ready, but not active anywhere else in the map quite yet.
Speaking of active, look who's getting active again. Is this going to be the 4th kill of the game? He's got it if he hits the whole combo. Silence Orb comes through. He didn't wait for the coil, though. That may cost him the kill. He's got another Orb, one more auto attack. Just barely able to find it. That's the Blink Dagger. Sub 8 minute Blink Dagger on your Puck. Absolutely out of control, my friend. And only going to get worse from here. There's a lot of squishies this game, Dakota. And even the Storm. The Storm's an easy takedown right now. He's got 500 health against a Puck with level 2, about to be a level 3 silence. And they're going to make a go now on Mag, but guess who's coming?
They have Mag baiting in. He's going to snowball hold him, but here it comes. The blink in, the huge coil. He's going to quickly clear out the Storm Spirit. A glimpse is going to send Sonico back to the bottom lane, but they're able to finish off the Disruptor. But look at this Cheshire Cat with his own rotation. Not going to be able to get the catch on Puck with that shift, but
oh, Dazzle.
Beautiful head start. Dazzle kind of thinks about
he
shifting
runs
in here.
right as the
Goryt's
Puck
on the
blinks
run.
out.
Oh, sidestep. And,
where are you going? He's going to turn this. He's got an orb ready. Oh, Goryt's, if this hits, he might die. But the haste turn. Blake, no, says Mr. Hart. Hearts get cut apart. Oh, this is brutal. 6-0-1 Puck at 9 minutes in. I don't know how you deal with this if you're PR. You just don't have the tools for it yet.
Part of every kill, and he got to get that quick boost to his Blink Dagger. He takes out the Bristle in the jungle and a good chunk of those stacks as well, which was helping give him so much of an income boost. This is Puck's time right now, and every time this coil comes up, he's just going to continue to make as many kills happen as possible, driving attention away from the PL, who's now moved on into the jungle. In fact, he's going with more of a farm-oriented build, going with the early Morbid Mask. We'll see if he goes with that Helm, or actually probably the Vlad's is the most likely build-up. And
look who it is.
But here we go, Puck again on the move, jumping in for Gory. There's going to be the silence. Will not jaunt towards his orb, but here comes Mag. Gets a nice sharp, blocks off Cheshire Cat. We'll have to round the bend, but that means he's going to get caught with a snowball. They jump on in, they uppercut the little man, and now they lock him with a coil. Orb to fly through, he goes down. Sunlight is level 6, but can't jump away from the coil quite yet, so he gets taken down. This might be a pretty swift game 2 at this rate. Vega have shown that game 1 was a flub, and they've came to play here. 10-2 already before 10 minutes in.
I'm pretty sure Storm could have just balled out there. He was not silenced the whole time, but he ends up sticking around, gets punished for it, and now they're going to start losing more. Even Disruptor getting dealt with mid lane. The PL able to jump forward, and oh, they're about to get solos level 6. 1,300 gold can go for that fast Midas or Ags. Either way, it's like you said, it's just completely out of hand, and I would say there are some drafts where you can be down this much and at least have like that 20% chance.
Dyer's middle tower is
PR
under
need to be
attack.
ahead. They have heroes that have to snowball, the Storm, the Bristleback. They
Radiant's
don't
top
have heroes
tower
that
has
scale
been denied.
particularly well, especially heroes like Pugna and Disruptor. Once BKBs come into play, even things like Yule Scepter to somewhat deal with the Static Storm, you're just not going to have that much of an impact. And at the rate things are going, that mid to late game is going to come very early for Vega. This is looking like the Power Rangers are going to get overwhelmed here and potentially forced into that game 3. That said, though, we've seen some back and forth games so far today, and none more than the last one. Definitely still potential to throw this lead away.
See you later, Cheshire Cat. They're going to snowball fall. He doesn't get the self to crit, but that means he eats more damage from that Ice Blast. Drops the ward, but gets a nice save quickly there from Goryets with the Shallow Grave. Barely holding onto his life. And with Ditya showing up, they think they could step back, but Pugna does end up going down to the AA Ice Blast. And this is just continue to being very dominant here for Vega. They just continue to find fight after fight. They could have Solo kind of elsewhere in the world, getting his own bit of solo time and farm, but as he does that, he could get punished, as we see here. Sunlight doesn't make a big dive, so he has no more mana really to work with. Does he have enough power with the right click to finish him off? He doesn't. So he has to pull back and away. He'll be coming up short on what he thinks would be an easy support pick.
Well, your AA for Solo. He actually bought a Midas, sold it right back. Uh-oh. Meanwhile, Sunlight getting caught out on the way out. Guess who it is? Again, it's Hart. He's been involved in 13 of 14 kills. He's almost got a Yule Scepter ready. In fact, I think he's got it now. Just a bit short, it looks like on the... Or hasn't purchased the recipe anyway yet, but it's coming very soon. And, yep, gets the gold right there with the bounty rune, and away he's going to go.
Dyer's bottom
Out of
tower
control,
is
This
man.
is a puck exhibition for our eyes right here. And
It's
do you
puck
think it would
versus
have been a
5
better
right now.
matchup to have Storm in the mid lane to match up against the puck? They decided to put Ditya there instead. I'm no huge mid lane player myself,
Dyer's
obviously,
middle tower
but
is under attack.
just felt like maybe the matchup on paper would have been a bit more favorable for the Storm, maybe. I don't know. But then again, he could have been just as easily kind of danced around on, and they were maybe hoping that Bristleback, because he has a bit more of thicker skin, he'd be able to take the harassment, but that is not the case this game.
It is like you pointed out, though, that early rotation from Sunico, it makes the game so much harder for Bristle. If he doesn't die that first time to the Wyvern gank, I think we see a much different performance. As again, it's Hart on the move, but the life drain will force him back. There's a heal ready, and finally they're able to thwart his gank attempts. We're going to see a Midas now on the Wyvern, and it's not a Midas for Solo. He decides to go straight into the Ags. He thought he was going to die earlier and just, I think, panic bought the Ag, or the Midas so he didn't lose any gold, but once he lived, sells it back, goes into Ag's territory instead, and at the rate Vega are going, they're going to have some very fat supports already. Both of their supports, each of them individually, worth more than the combined supports on PR. And that's not even looking at the cores as I miss a kill for the Tusk. They're going to look for two-lane memes in the meanwhile. Glimpse into the Static Storm. It gets caught out by 3. Grave now there. Can they finally find a kill? He's able to doppelganger on back, and still the chase goes in. Yara finishes him off with the quills, and while that was happening, your Storm goes
Dyer's
down
top
again.
tower is under attack.
Even when they
This
do
is
find a kill,
ridiculous.
they've got to give something up big in return.
It's just not worth the trade that they're hoping for here.
It is a
Cheshire
win
Cat
on
thinking
paper,
that
but
maybe-
I feel like it's still not good enough.
Here comes Cheshire Cat. Okay, can he do it? The Pugna drops down the Decrep, and the blast is huge damage to life drain. Solo heading up to the north to get away from this one, but he's going to go for a Valiant TP. Boom! See you later. That's a quick and easy kill with the Nether Blast. Part of the sacrifice you make when you're AA and you're trying to play out on your own in a different part of the world, but it always seems to come at a cost here. Will it be the mid lane? So Nico eyeballing it, coming in from behind on the Ditya Ra. Your Puck waiting from the front, has Coil ready to go, and now even Mag shows up. Looks like Vega have a potential plot to maybe make something happen here in the mid lane, but there is help nearby. And they also have been stacking up their ancient camp pretty well. And up until that point, Ditya was farming it. It looks like he'll go back and finish off what he had started. He's able to throw together the Vanguard, but that's more of a defensive build-up. They'd love to get more of an offensive one. And okay, nice glimpse. Brings back Sonico, who'd been trying to TP out from trouble. Now he's caught out on his own, but meanwhile, Sunlight going to be taken out again. It's
Look
Mr.
who it
No One,
is.
a.k.a. Hart, is godlike now. They get the Yules up, but it's on an illusion here. Cheshire Cat moves in, already has the ward down. Sonico almost killing himself because of the spells. but now he's able to just crawl himself away from trouble. Goreyitz thinks about chasing, but decides to double back. He has no investment into poison touch, so can't really slow.
They can't find a kill, man. The Wyvern just clawing his way back to safety, and well, even with all that commitment, the Wyvern able to walk away. They did have to commit the Winter's Curse on the coil, but all the while, Tule Meme happily free farming on his PL. And they're just keeping PR supports dirt poor, still collectively not worth as much as a single hero on Vega. That is a terrible sign. The gold lead up to nearly 10,000 at 15 minutes. It's an excellent performance. Solo finally looks like your Storm Spear can find something, but already Tusk is on the move. The snowball forward. They've got the charge. The uppercut's going to be ready. Walrus Punch. See you later. Nothing comes for free this game for PR, and not even a support frag can be obtained.
Mag, but making a go on to J4, but able to make himself out and away. So Nico is going to look to finish off this tier 1 mid lane, which is already very low, and then bottom. Well, they want to get a hold of the puck. This puck has a huge bounty, and they get it, and it's the ward that finishes him off as well. Oh, big boost right there for your Pugna, a godlike streak, which gives him about 1,300 gold on top.
He's already got the Glimmer Cape, but now we might see that fast mech. But in the meanwhile, a big jump in onto J4. Walrus Punches there. Good static storm, at least to try and cover his retreat. They get up the grave. Mag's running out of spells at this point. He gets out the Ice Shards. Another heal available. No mana for it. And Mag kept alive for now by the Wyvern. Looks like the tower's in deny range, so they want to go for this. The Sigil covering the path of retreat as Vega back out, but Sunlight surges in. There's another snowball ready, but he's got to have a target to go to. He may just snowball himself forward and try and hold the line here. They get off the curse. Onto 2. Sunlight's starting to drop low. There's the snowball onto 2 as well. Mag with the shards in 2 seconds. Can he get him off in time? The PL's arrived. It's a cleanup. 3 heroes end up falling. Vega. They're talking in, I think that's French? I'm not sure actually, but I think the memes are overwhelming them. That's my translation of what just happened.
He didn't even have to do a whole lot. Like, it was the back end of the fight, and PL shows up and is like, hey, thanks, guys. I'll just Spirit Lance this one, take that one, thanks. Free double kill, walks right back to mid lane, and just continues what he had been doing the whole time. Boom, gets clips back into Ku, a kinetic field. No, that's not happening because he's got that fantastic ability. It's called Doppelganger, and it pisses me off when I have to go against it, and I'm sure J4 is not happy about it right there.
Yeah, very, very well timed by Tule Meme, and now he'll get the Diffusal Blade out as well. So this is where things get really scary. You're running a 4-int lineup. A couple of them quite squishy. You rely on Decrepify to keep heroes alive. That's not an option anymore with the Purge, and this PL can A, win by just out-farming them, B, can win by out-fighting them, C is more mobile than them, and the Storm is the one hero who can potentially counter that. He doesn't have items, Dakota. Still no Orchid 18 minutes in. Safe lane Storm. Had like a 6 or 7 minute first Oblivion Staff, and now they're going to look for the puck. This would be big. Can they find him? They do. He's unable to blink himself out. Didn't even get off the Yule Scepter or the Haster, and ends up melting. That is another death for our formerly flawless puck. What goes from 9-0-6 to 9-2-6. And suddenly, this game starting to close the gap. That's a 1,300 gold kill. It really cost them nothing.
Pretty convenient for him. They move up there, and he used the orb to farm. And nice glimpse back. They're going to get Soniko as well in the mid lane. Slowly, PR showing that they have life in this game at what looked like such a dominant start. And when they're able to kind of win these fights, they have a lineup that certainly can siege and push forward, especially with the help here of Pugna. He's going to get off a couple of blasts, but speaking of blasts, Ice Blast coming in. Connects on 2. More importantly, connects on the Dazzle as well as the Bristleback. Board already committed for this one, but they had a plan in motion, and that is finishing off this tier 1. And look at the chunks of damage they're able to go through once these blasts are able to connect. Meanwhile, they do get some split push here. Solo farm time here for PL up at the top, but the tier 1 will go down here. Small step here for PR, but they're just happy to take whatever advantage they can, because up until this point, it looked pretty damn grim. And now, Agnum's complete on your AA. It's not even a level 2 Ice Blast yet, and he already has Agnum's.
You know, even if this is an even game, I still think Vega are in good shape. It's been a really nice turnaround by PR. 2 massive kills on the puck and the tower, converting to about a 3, maybe even 4K gold swing, but they always can rat, and, well, they may not need to. They're going to find Gory's here, down in the river, gets caught out, Yules into the silence, and quickly dealt with. Now hunting for a bit more. They have a coil. Diarra, no TP, does have the BKB, but Hart could potentially force out a charge should he go for that coil. Not going to attempt it. The backup simply wasn't there, and they'll let him walk away, at least for now. But they look to farm the enemy ancients. They will clear out that stack. Bit of extra gold into Vega's pockets, and not really punished for it either. Not going to give up an easy Roshan, as we'll see a large number of observer wards getting planted down in the vicinity of that Roche pit. 4 within about that quadrant of the map, you might say.
Vega just have 1, 2, 3, 4, a Hail Mary of ops. So they're making it go into J4. Nice jump in, nice silence. Does get the great heal from Gory's. Will try his best to kind of heal him on up. Does get called the Ice Blast, however, so that means he's going to get snapped, but his puck is going to be able to clean him on up. And meanwhile, Sonico going to get double jump. Can they get a hold of him here? They get the pull back onto the puck. Curse goes out. Now Sonico not able to make it away. Gets dropped down right at the end of that TP. Meanwhile, Mag is able to show up. Gets the finishing blow to finish up Gory's, but so does Sunlight. Gets the kill onto the puck. The 2-for-2 trade. These fights going a little bit easier here for PR, but this is, of course, all the while they don't have the PL on the side of Vega. Plus top lane, Cheshire Cat and Solo are kind of doing their own thing, and Cheshire Cat is sucking away the life here. Give me some of that ice right there, buddy. He's going to try to get away. Solo, there's nowhere to run. He has no TP. Just desperate Ice Blast. Oh, he's going to get the kill. Cheshire Cat, though. No, nice glimmer. Save from J4. Yep, going to save him for now. But big static storm, kinetic field, Cheshire Cat, nice self-decrep, holds him out in the meantime, but he is going to get dropped. There's still that cooldown. It looked like maybe on life drain or didn't want to try to use it. Long-winded fight, but somehow, some way, Solo makes it out alive.
That feels like overall the story of the game. We've seen the puck overextend a couple of times. Actually went down in the river while that was going on, or a little bit before it. I'm not sure if we had caught the end of that, to be honest, with how chaotic this game has gotten. But 35 kills in, now 22 minutes in. The gold lead, decent for Vega. Not overwhelming, but my main concern is I just don't feel like PR have great solutions for a fat PL. And even as the puck starts to fall off a little bit, the PL is getting out of control. 5-1, hasn't died in a long time. Completes a Manta. They just don't have solutions for him. You Orchid him, he's got the Diffusal Blade, the Manta, they've got the Wyvern to put him under and keep him alive anyway. There's not that much AoE as the game goes on. Like, sure, now the Quills and the Blast are decent. Even the heal could be okay, but from the Shadow Wave. But you go forward 10 minutes, he gets a Scotty, a Heart in the mix. You're not killing these illusions, and he's going to be making more all the time, so I continue to worry for PR. They've been mounting a nice comeback, but fundamentally this lineup still needs to be playing from ahead. And they are still behind, even if they've had a couple of good fights.
Didn't notice till now, but Cheshire Cat went with a Bloodstone build-up on his Pugna. It's a bit unusual.
Yeah, he got off a Bloodstone tonight top.
Norm.
He didn't actually give up the kill, but still, yeah, it's unconventional. I mean, what do you think? Is there another item here Pugna could be going for, or do you like the Bloodstone pickup?
I mean, Ags is usually something Pugnas like to go for. You reduce the cooldown on life drain. They have changed it a bit so the range isn't increased anymore, but it's still pretty nice. I mean, outside of that, you see Yules picked up from time to time. I just don't see Bloodstone very often. It adds a lot of life, which he certainly does need, but he's not really one to get too many kills. Yeah, I guess he's involved in fights and can get charges that way, but I don't know. I mean, giving him back earlier with a low respawn time to help defend is nice in its own. That's just a bit interesting.
Oh, they have Storm coming bottom. They may try to go for the Aegis here. Roche drops low, but in the meanwhile, the puck's initiated. Bound 2 up on the high ground. Sunlight's going to jump in, and waiting for him was Sonico. Gets up the winner's curse still. Kept alive for now. They didn't have to follow up down. If they may lose the puck here, he's been glimmered for a bit, but ultimately will end up falling as that glimmer wears off. And while that was all happening, Diarra walked into the pit. He snatched the Aegis, taking it away from Vega. This is about as bad as it can get. Solo, can he make it worse? Will end up getting glimpsed on back and focus down. Aegis snatch, 3-for-2 trade. The graph not even, or the fight recap not even fully updating, but even then, it looks like in total a 2,000 gold swing with the Roche gold being factored in. gargantuan win here for PR.
I can't even comprehend what the hell happened there, but it's PR.
I was
just
expecting
so
like
much.
Storm to go for an Age of Steel, not Bristleback to walk into the pit and just take it. But I didn't see how he got his grubby paws on it, but by golly, he certainly did.
Radiant's bottom tower is
They go, using this bit of momentum swing. They're going to continue to push the bottom lane, hoping to take a tier 2, but it's mid where they're going to make the jump on the Cheshire Cat. Gets the glimmer on himself. Lamim waiting out for it. Scouts him now. Drops out the Spirit Lance. Now they have the kinetic field there to help out from J4, but he's able to jump right over it. Gorit's able to use the Shallow Grave on himself, but there goes the big Ice Blast. It will connect. Pugna goes down, and it also hit the Dazzle, who's going to go back home only to die there. And meanwhile, bottom lane, it looks like next to be dead. Could be potentially Date Your Raw. Pops the BKB to walk out from the coil. Mag, tries to get him catch with the uppercut. Sunlight able to make it away. But the back end of that TP, quick, slick escape, but can Date Your Raw be as lucky? There's going to be the jump on forward, and the Yules follow up this Bristleback in a bit of trouble now. Cold Feet trying to lock him in place and slow him down. Nice catch with the barricade and Ice Shards, and slowly but surely, the Beast will be slain. Now, coming back with a second life, here comes J4. Big Static Storm drop, though, with the kinetic field. A zip in from Sunlight, they can turn this around. They're going to go right back up for Vega. They see Tulamine, but a nice Winter Curse does come out. They catch down Sunlight. Sunlight's going to have to step back. Date Your Raw, Yules on up and away. That Diffusal Blade cutting and chopping on forward. They're going to get the finishing blow with the help of the Puck, jaunting on forward and getting him with the Orb. Now Date Your Raw trying to run back. It's Soniko
Dyer's
slowing
top
him on.
tower is under attack.
And, well, when the dust settles, it's almost a clear-cut split down the middle, though it is PR who also lose their Aegis on top of it.
Yeah, definitely a win there for Vega. It looked like that could have been the perfect combo. They get up an amazing Static Storm, good kinetic field follow-up.
Dyer's top
Then the
tower
Storm
is
balls
under
in.
attack.
They just didn't quite have the burst. They needed like that one extra nuke, maybe a Shadow Wave on a couple of allies. Too many heroes were dead at that point, and it just pains you to
Dyer's
see
top
PR
tower
win a
is
big
under
fight,
attack.
and then they I wouldn't say they completely threw it away, but they flushed away quite a sizable amount of that advantage they had managed to cobble together. Or if not advantage, then at least they'd close the gap and then they'd lose it. So still, the question remains for me, how do you deal with the PL right now? We're going to see an initiation top lane coil coming out along with the silence. The Grave was used, but Gory should shatter here in the end.
Glimmer him.
Be a nice kill.
Aw,
You
I
can
don't think it would
glimmer
matter
him, but
regardless.
you ain't
J4,
saving
Glimmer
him.
your brother. No, I didn't get him, though, but nonetheless, it's a kill, an objective set out, brilliantly set up. They just clearly made the call. Solo set it up with an Ice Blast, and Puck was able to easily finish it up. No problem whatsoever.
That's
Pick up some
one of those,
items
like, if
here.
you're going to die, you know, you want to be buried in style. Like, in your nicest tux, you know,
Exactly.
throw on the Glimmer Cape, look good for the coffin, but he's dead regardless.
Oh, Sunlight tried to get the zip catch there on the PL before he could tip away, but not so lucky. Oh, Greedy tries to go for the regen rune. Might pay with his life. Oh, no. Winter Curse. The right clicks come out, and I immediately regret my decision. Goes down.
Yeah, you can even hear him blubbering
All
a bit
for a
as he
regen.
dies. Storm dead again.
Dyer's
Yeesh.
bottom tower
6
is under
and
attack.
9, not his best performance, and I mean, sure, the Puck's gotten slightly
Dyer's
sloppy.
bottom
Starts
tower
off
has
9 and 0, now 13 and 4, but the impact this Puck had for the first 15 to 20 minutes is
Dyer's bottom
immeasurable.
tower
Like,
is
you
under
can
attack.
basically hang up your proverbial
Dyer's
cleats at that
structures are
point, go to bed, and your team should still be able to win from that point forward. That's how strong the showing was mid early on, and now Puck's picked up a BKB, so they can no longer rely on that glimpse into Static Storm. There's really no lockdown for Puck either, aside from maybe a Storm Pull, but they don't have the follow-up to get the kills, as Diarra will be engaged upon a bit. PL creating a small army of illusions. And getting close to that next big item now, picking up an ultimate orb, probably going straight into the Scotty from here. Once he gets that, how to PR kill him. They just lack burst damage. They're much more of a sustained kind of lineup. You know, get off multiple dazzle heals, a bunch of blasts, the ward zapping you the whole time, the quills stack up. The only real burst hero is the Storm, and he's just not farmed enough. He's behind 3 heroes in this game, and 7k down on the PL at this point.
It's pretty damn obvious. PR have a team that just favors those long-winded kind of a fights where they can make so much out of it. Continuous quills and heals like you're pointing out. But Vega just not letting that happen. They're able to lead in, they get their disables, their silence and lockdown, and they finish off what they started, cleaning off their plates, if you will. And well, PR are able to make their way back out from the base after the pressure does come. Quickly D-ward, recognizing that this Roche is going to be potentially important. They want to make sure they get a nice D-ward and obs in place and ready to go. He will work with the Ancient Camp to kind of get his Bristle back and farmed up. It looks like he's on the path of building his AC. Already has his plate mail and Hyperstone, but well, they're only little pieces right now and pale almost in comparison when you look at this meaty Phantom Lines. Already has that Manta Diffusal, one orb, and is pretty damn close to just finishing out his Scotty altogether.
This Alliance rare main, by the way, it's pretty ridiculous. He's got the glowing eyeballs. It's kind of terrifying. I'm not gonna lie.
He's got to go see an optometrist, I think.
He just really needs an eye doctor. Yeah. Dude, you got something wrong with your eyeballs, man. You're a little messed up, but he doesn't give a crap. He's just gonna push on in.
Dyer's top tower.
Two-lay means going for two-lay items.
He could see the tower, and it's free money, so he got it now. So free extra near 350 gold built up for him. Quick little D-ward there from J4 as they wanted to get some extra aggressive vision. The rest of PR pressuring this bottom lane quite a bit. It's just more on Vega. They're going to keep these lanes pushed forward as much as possible. Maybe look to sweep back, pick up an Aegis, and at that point, pressure into the base, and maybe look to, start taking some Raxus. Now, how do we feel
Storm
about
going
PR
for the
and their
big
high ground
backstab
defense?
plays.
Tower has fallen.
Look at this. Sunlight is
waiting.
He's feeling the heat right now. Getting a bit desperate even. But not able to find that pick. He was so close to finding this Ancient Apparition mid, but no vision for him, unfortunately. He has this one Observer Ward, but it didn't actually spot anybody moving in. Now the fight, real fight breaking out mid. They found J4 off the bat. The Glimmer keeping him alive. Did get Ra up in front, but losing his mana quickly, forced to BKB. And everybody just walks away. Really no lockdown. Where's the Storm? Going on to Solo. Gets off the pole, but the BKB from Digger is about to end. The two-lane meme still very healthy. Solo not even brought down just yet. Sunlight's going to get punched up and down. Silent for ages. He cuts Lodestone and I. He's going for it and will eventually fall. Doesn't even find a single solitary stinking kill. PL farming them in the base. Now backing off for Dityara. Deprived of the BKB. Has no way to survive this any longer. And your two Bloodstone charge Pugna Johnson's way in will just as quickly be sent back crying to mama by this PL. No more defusal charges or he'd probably go for an additional kill. It's just feeling hopeless at this point.
At this point, Vega know that victory is nearly in their grasp. This is feeling more like the Vega lineup we were expecting coming into this matchup. The 80-20 favorites is praised, and with the right collective draft, maybe chalk up to a bit of just misplay. They have Soniko now, but okay, here we go. Let's see. Potential fighter hurrah for PR. Sunlight jumping on in, thinking they can go on to Lamim. And he doppelgangers to the low ground potentially to make it away, but will get caught out and brought down. Sunlight able to at least grab that one for himself.
It's
a little bit
kill.
of something, but their tier 3 does go down, and well, yeah, is there a bit of a bounty on that one? There is. 1045 gold for a mega kill streak. Like,
I wouldn't call it a comeback yet, but a couple more kills like that, you could be looking at one. Now now down to maybe a bit below a 15,000 gold lead even after that kill. I don't think it goes much farther. It's still, like, who really can take over this game? They can just kite the Bristle. When he BKBs, there's no one to force you to fight him, really. You've got just the Storm. And outside of that, the Storm, there's lockdown for him. Puck will build a Hex eventually. Already has gone into the Aghanim Scepter. They can look to shatter him. As mentioned, there's a lot of BKB piercing lockdown. On paper, this is still 99 out of 100 times Vega's game, but there's always that one time, where everything goes PR's way, a catastrophic Roche Aegis snipe, Vega just trying to YOLO it into the pit and getting caught overextending and dying to a couple of buybacks. You really never know, but it's probably that 99, not that one. It's just not looking good if Vega play their cards right from here.
Fisher Cap places a beautiful nether ward and they all kill themselves from it or something. Like, yeah. I mean, he has a bit more sustained power now with the Nagnus.
It really feels like it would take that.
It's ridiculous. Luckily, they have ways to relieve the pressure with the help of that blast and the bristle. They can wave clear pretty damn easy. These two heavy mobile heroes top lane dancing about. It's going to be Sunlight who does not chicken. Well, I don't want to say chicken out first, but he's like, I don't want any part of this. He heads back to base. With that, they'll have to kind of reconverge at this point. Roche is back up and ready to go. A very important Roche, but bottom lane, Cheshire Cat is the one in trouble. Self-Glimmer Cape has a TP, but no way to run. Caught between three, drops his own ward, and slowly gets withered apart. Does have the suicide to get off, now down to 2 charges, but he is done for. 50 seconds, no buyback. Valiant Ice Blast towards the mid lane. Actually catches onto Goretz here. And PL is like, ooh, I can make a go onto him, but he dives too far into the base. But here we go. Storm Spirit moves in.
Pulled the illusion, though.
But they can't do a lot. Yep, and now they're just going to go right for the Rax. But they need to get the creeps in the base first.
Prognosis still not great here for PR. Then, you know, the Pugna Bloodstone, I would not pin the game on it because I really feel like this is just the lineup that has to win the laning stage, but it's certainly not offering that much at this point. Just a constant, quick suicide as they will make a jump on mid. The blink forward, they get off a Walrus Punch and Sunlight Dota. Didn't have the follow-up to lock him down, though. Unable to find that puck silence, as I believe it was cooling down. He did BKB, but they're going to force Digyara back. He's basically out of mana at this point. Can't really offer much to his team, and well, they may be content and just back away, knowing that the puck BKB is on a cooldown. Roche has likely respawn. I don't think it's max respawn time, but it's getting close. Or maybe they just run all the way into the base. Illusion's deployed. Out comes the mana burn. They'll shatter J4 with this one. The Ice Blast coming through. About to tick down. They try to Yule to keep him alive. Now Cheshire Cat being pursued as well. Buyback on your Storm after his first death. Aurora in. Tries to finish off the puck. Can he even do that? It doesn't look like it for now. Finally gets the job done. Leaping forward onto Max. And Nico putting him under. That earlier Winter's Curse almost enough to save his first teammate. And now it's up to Digyara to chase the other direction. Bristleback moving in. Puck will buy back. Has the BOTs coming right back. And no more HP for Digyara. Ice Blast again ready. Blasting on forward. Won't even be necessary. They slap down the Bristleback. Not so much of a boss anymore as Solo looks to engage. Starts with the Yules, not the cold feet, so won't actually get the stun, but regardless able to force him back. Solo now being life drained, pursued heavily and smacked to pieces. Vega gonna take their first lane of Rax, and I don't see them really stopping from here, Dakota. There's a basher up on Tule memes, and he's about to find Tule kills, and with that, probably force a game 3.
See here, they're still trying their damnedest to hold strong here. Goretz getting caught out with that Spirit Lance. Self-Glimmer to step away. Sunlight re-engaging, goes for the puck, gets the kill out for 100 seconds, but then they roll on forward. They get the uppercut. Sunlight able to step back and away. Cheshire moves in. Now Self-Glimmers. And at least they're able to save one Rax, their melee Rax, which is the most important one after all. And with that, taking out the Roche here. To see. It's a valiant hold. They don't end up losing too much quite yet, but it's still Vega pretty much all the way at this point. PL is now moved into a basher.
It's getting to that point where they get like they'll lose the fight like 4 for 2 or something, and the gold that they get for that 1 or 2 kills is just amazing, but it's just not enough. Even when they get those couple of kills, they're still down well into the 5 digits in gold, and it's getting to the point where PL is about to get Satanic Abyssal Blade. Like, we're realistically looking at that probably by the 45-minute mark. How do you kill this PL? Like, again, the only times he's died is when he's really overextended, played ultra cocky, and everything from PR gets unloaded on him. And Tule meme looking for Sunlight. If he gets a bash here, Sunlight may end up dying, but not so lucky on the RNG. He's gonna jump in, they put him under and slap him to bits again. Another easy takedown, and he can look to Doppelganger into the pit. He's gonna do it straight onto Digyara, but lancing forward on J4 wants to find these easy support kills. The cold feet gonna proc here, and Gory's holding him in position near the pit as Digyara will be the next man to be focused and dealt with. The cold feet, I think, going on to Roche as Digyara still BKB. They'll say, Roche, leave this one to the Radiant. We'll come and deal with you a bit later on. More and more lances being spammed. A punch on the Cheshire Cat ends him, and oh, this is just all over. Another roll forward. They are not going anywhere with the Sigil dealing with him. And PL said, you guys can deal with that. I'll take the Roche. Oh, my team actually needs me. All right, I'm coming. And they'll get the job done.
All right, Goretz, good luck, buddy. He's all at his lonesome in the base, but it was almost a YOLO all or nothing kind of a play to see if they could make a potential sneak behind and make a go at the Roche, but Storm Spirit, not the biggest fan of a Winter Wyvern with that Winter's Curse lockdown. There's really nowhere he could run. He's been caught with that numerous times, and really at that point they could have their own free will. PL at that point could just right-click down all of his mana. Saw already what they could do to something like a Bristleback, and now here they come in from the southern side, trying to break in through this tier 3. PR still think they can try to hold at least one more hurrah. J4 was caught out and didn't even get his static storm off, so he still has it here. But this fight doesn't work. This defense doesn't work. It's as good as done, and we'll be moving into a game number 3 at a 1-1 tie.
Well, Storm's abandoned ship. He's heading for greener pastures in the bottom lane. The Rack's already taken down as Tule Memes and the rest of Vega are gonna move in. They'll find the melee here. This is putting them close to mega creeps. It's game 3 time, Dakota. Who are you taking here? As we're basically just in the final moments of putting a cherry on top for Vega. Do you see PR being able to take that game 3? You feel these teams are evenly matched, or do you look at game 1 as more of an aberration and Vega just the stronger overall team?
Felt like for the first game, PR very confident with the draft they thrown together, and it showed as they were very successful in game 1. Game 2, maybe they felt almost over-ambitious with their draft. They put priority in the Pugna as their first pick, which they possibly could have reserved later on. And this time it wasn't as cheeky, wasn't as clever. So it just comes down to where their head is for game number 3. If they can still string together another respectable draft, maybe they can get it going here now. Sunlight
He's got the
makes a
Aegis.
move onto the puck. But yeah, this is all for an Aegis. He's able to self-heals and still stall it out. Ice Blast, nice connect right here onto the important targets, especially someone like Aditya Ra. Connect still going to be dropped with Mag having to chop it away on the Bristleback. So Nico there in hand. Meanwhile, PL though cleaning up the mess from behind. J4 going to get dropped next. Comes Goritz, but hey, he's able to get the Glimmer Cape off. We'll retreat on out from there. Here comes the second life of your puck as Cheshire Cat looking to move in. Decrep's not going to save him for too long as it could get diffused off. And that is going to be game. We are indeed going to a game number 3 of Vega going against PR here at Esportal. All right.
Well, this one certainly delivered on the action. It ends with a triple kill for Tule Memes. Even though he takes over at the end, I think you have to go back to the lanes. And you talked about Soniko and how much he gets done on Wyvern. He was excellent on the Wyvern, and of course, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention Hart once again on the puck. Just a